Next, we move on to the eyes. So I am going to walk you through how to make your eyes pop, especially right now with us wearing masks, right? It's all about the eyes. So we want those eyes to pop, to be bold, to be confident, right? So that's what I'm going to walk you through. So the first thing we would do is a primer. So our Heavenly Sheen Eye Base Primer has been one of our top sellers for 42 years. One of these tubes will last me a year again. So what you do is you just take a little bit on the edge of the wand here, and I like to just swoop it across my eyelid. I use my finger and I blend this all over, all the way up to the brow. So you'll see that it's a really pretty neutral color. So a ton of my clients actually wear this alone. If they're just running out the door and they just want to keep it very, very natural, but still feel like they've got something on. So you can see that it's a very light pink, but just enough to pop out your eyes. And it's already dry. It dries as a powder within seconds. So those are 18 bucks. And again, they last you forever. Then we move on to your eyeshadow. So typically what we do is a highlight, a base, and then a contour color. And again, it's all about opening your eyes, making the colors pop. So I can help you with, if you tell me your eye color, I can tell you what colors are good with certain eye colors and what makes them pop, right? So what we do is we start with a highlight. So I'm just using a shadow flatter kind of brush here. And I'm going to start with a highlight color, so a lighter color. And I'm going to swoop that right under my eyebrow. So you can see that, so light brings things out, dark brings things in. So one swoop. All of our eyeshadow is very high pigment, so you do not need a lot of color on your brush. Typically one little dip, and that does the space that you want it to. Next, I'm going to move on to a base color. I like to use golds because I got blue eyes, so I'm going to use our Fortune, and I'm going to swoop that right on my base up to my crease color here. So again, you can see how fast and easy this goes on. Okay, so you just go over the lid up to the crease area. And then before I do the crease, the contour, I like to do, I'm gonna use my fingers just to kind of make sure you want to go up, right? You never want the color to go below or past the bottom line of your lash. So I like to just kind of whatever's excess. But anyway, so do your eyebrows next. So I like to do my eyebrows and then I go back to my crease just so I can shape them. Your eyebrows will frame your entire face. It can make you look 5 to 10 years younger. It makes a huge difference. I've got them, but I want them to look more crisp, more full, right? That is, yeah, it just, again, it makes a huge difference in your makeup. Okay, so I'm gonna use our Oh Wow Brow. So this has got a shaping wax in here. So the first thing I do is I use a liner brush and I dip this into the wax because that way when I use the color over top, it stays and I can really kind of shape it and mold it however I want. I'm just going to use my other camera for this, or my other mirror, so I can see what I'm doing. And you just go with the natural shape of your brow. You can make them thicker if you want, but I like to keep things very neutral. And if you're not sure where to put it, so just kind of take the edge of your brush and you put it at the edge of your nose to the corner of your eye. That's really where it should start. And then same thing over here, the edge of your eye, that's really where it should end. So that's the technical shape of your eyebrows. And then I'm just going to use a little bit of color here and I'm going to fill them in. You can use a dark brown eyeshadow to do this, or depending on your hair, a light brown eyeshadow if you're more of the lighter hair. You always want to match typically the root. Whatever your roots are, that's typically the color you want to go. Okay, so that makes a huge, huge difference. Just filling that right in. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to the crease color. So we're gonna do more of a contour brush, so more of a pointy brush here. And I'm gonna go with a darker color. I like to go with Dolce, it's more of like a brownie tone. And then what you do with the crease is all you're doing is a sidewards V, okay? So you're gonna go in your crease in the corner and you're gonna windshield wiper it. And notice where I'm holding the brush at the end, so it's nice and light. You don't wanna go up here because that's too intense. So you go up over here and then I just windshield wiper it in the crease down into the corner, and then I make a sidewards V. So up through the front here, and it's like a sidewards V, right? So that's gonna really shape your eye, make your eye pop, right? So when you're looking straight, you should be able to see the dark color just above your lash line. You don't wanna put the color just up here because that's gonna close in your eyes. You wanna be able to, again, open your eyes, right? So you can kind of see the difference between one and the other. All right, so we're gonna go on the other side. And again, just notice how little of the product I'm using, just one little tap, and it's giving me this incredible pigment. So if you want to go darker, you just go darker. You just add more color. Okay. And then you just, you just do your best to make them relatively even, but not a big deal if they're not. Nothing is perfect. Especially eyebrows. Eyebrows are not twins, they're sisters. They're not identical twins. Okay, so that's good enough for the purpose here. Add a little bit more. And then if it's not blended, just take a powder brush like so, blend it out, right? I like to use my fingers. I just find it blends just well with my fingers and it's faster as well. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is powder eyeliner. I love powder eyeliner, but we've got liquid, we've got mechanical, then we've got the powder. I find the powder looks a lot more natural. I find it's a lot more easier, and it's easier to teach my clients too. So what I do is, I take a liner brush. We have a powder black eyeliner pan color. So that's what I'm using. I wet the brush because then it's just easier for me to kind of control where it's going. So all you're doing, so you'll see this is angled, right? So the bigger point is it's gonna follow your, basically the shape of your eye. So let me see if I can get nice and close here. So you're gonna just keep it as close to the lash line and you're connecting the line. You start on the edge and you bring it in. And then you flip your brush around when you get around here. And you go about 3/4 of the way. If you want, I mean, you could do all the way across, but that's gonna really close in your eyes. So you wanna try to keep it more 3/4 of the way. And it's hard for me to do it in this computer, but you'll get the gist of it. Okay, so again, eyeliner is all about enhancing, making your eyes appear bigger. And I take whatever's left over on this brush. I don't go too heavy on the bottom, and you just take it about halfway. So again, you're just following the line of your eyelashes. And if you mess it up, just take a Q-tip and blend it out. Not a big deal. A lot of people are afraid of color. They're afraid of makeup. But just remember, confidence comes from doing. So the only way, I never used to wear makeup or knew what I was doing. The only way you can get good at anything is just by doing and practicing, right? Just like you learned how to walk. Okay, so that's all I'm gonna do for my powder eyeliner. And it's gonna all work together. So of course, when you first look at it, it's like, wow, but when you add mascara, it all blends beautifully together. So what I'm gonna add is our mascara. We've got a couple different options in terms of mascara. We've got right now we have an A-list mascara, we've got intensity stretch mascara, and then we've got top shelf mascara as well. So right now, top shelf, right now it's August 2020, so we do not have top shelf available at the present moment, but it just depends on how much intensity you want, how much volume you want, but they all can build amazing, incredible volume. There's no chemicals, no toxins, right, in our mascara. They're all beautiful, beautiful mascaras, and there's no clumping, no flaking, none of that kind of stuff. All right, so let's give this a whirl. We'll see. So you just want to swift it up and you want to build. You just follow your brush all the way through. I like to blink as I go. And if you happen to touch your skin with mascara, don't worry, leave it. Don't take it off. Don't try to get it off right away because it'll smudge. You want to wait for this mascara to dry completely. Take a Q-tip and it comes right off of your skin without smudging. Okay. I like to do a little bit on the bottom here. And then you can do as many layers as you want, depending on how much volume, right? So look at that difference compared to the other eye. Crazy. And we've got a really cool product called our Lash Enhancement Serum, or Lush and Lux. So if you want naturally thicker, longer, darker eyelashes, you want to be using that every day. It's an incredible product to nourish your natural baby lashes. So within a few weeks, they're going to start coming in thicker, longer, and stronger just on their own. All right, there we go. Look at those beautiful babies. I love it. Okay, so now what I do is I take a Q-tip and see if I smudged anywhere, and if I kind of mucked up a little bit on the bottom, a little bit up here, okay? And then you just take it off, and that's it. Now what I like to finish with under my eyes is called Look Alive. It's literally like magic dust, and it's in this little tube. This will last me months. In this little tube here, and what this does is it eliminates the shadow under your eye, and it totally, it's called Look Alive, so it makes you look alive, right? So you just take the tiniest little bit of it and tap off what's the excess on the brush, and you just swoop this right under your eye. And you can see what it does is it just completely lifts. It's really great for the dark veins in between your eyes here. But just, you can see they're a little different, right? So the shadow over here, and it opens up the inside of that eye as well. There we go. All right, and the eyes are complete. So that is how you achieve very natural. This is a natural look that you can do in just a few minutes.